Fantasy is a necessary ingredient in living. It's a way of looking at life through the wrong end of a telescope, and that enables you to laugh at life's realities. That was a quote by Dr. Seuss. In life, I have always had to make decisions and see the results of those decisions, see where I made mistakes, learn from those mistakes. Sometimes I sit back and imagine what would happen if I had made different decisions in life. My life is like fantasy football. I know you've probably heard about fantasy football. It's on every commercial right now. You probably think I'm crazy comparing my life to fantasy football, but I'm gonna show you how with a speech of how my life's like fantasy football. I spend hours and hours on the week studying fantasy football. In fact, the last 2 Sundays, my girlfriend could probably answer to you that made her sit through 2 fantasy football drafts. I do research. I'm always Googling who to start, who to sit. I'm always doing research on this. So, yes, I got 3 main reasons why fantasy football is like my life. First, I get to decide who I want in my life, which kind of sounds a little bit arrogant. But second is I make decisions as about what I'm going to do, kind of like who I'm going to start or sit. And then third is I get to see the results and learn from those mistakes. With that, I'll leave in my first point, which is I decide who I want in my life. Basically, it kind of sounds kind of weird, but you kind of get to pick and choose a little bit who you want as your friends. I probably don't have the best friend picking abilities, but at the end of the day, I kind of pick who I want to be around, who I don't want to be around, and go from there. And it's kind of like fantasy football. Fantasy football, you kind of pick 10 people you want to play fantasy football with. You don't necessarily want to pick the people who are going to be smarter than you. You kind of want to pick people who you might get wins against, and maybe some people that are going to give you a run for your money. And then kind of go from there, and learn from that. That leads me to my second point, which is that you kind of make decisions about what you're going to do. The biggest decision I made today was getting out of bed. I went to sleep at 3 o'clock this morning, and definitely woke up around noon, and it was kind of a pain. But I made decisions about writing the speech last minute. Made decisions about, my gas tank's probably still empty right now. I'll probably have to push the gas station later. It's kind of like fantasy football in a way. You make your decisions as to what players you're going to draft, who you're going to pick up on the waiver order, who you're going to start, along those lines. And that leads to my third point, which is seeing the results and learning from mistakes. I can probably tell you that my bank account's probably going to be empty. I'll see the results of quitting my job last week. I missed church this morning, so that's probably another thing I'll see the results of later on this week. And whenever I'm getting really down and I really wish I'd gone to church and worshiped. And I'll see the results of starting a new job, graduating college in December. And those results come from the decisions that I've made, which kind of ties all my points in together. Kind of the same way with fantasy football, you see the results of, Larry Fitzgerald scores a touchdown and Matt Forte scores a touchdown and he's on your fantasy team or he's against you. You'll see the results of picking that player up or not. And kind of go from there on that. And a few other things is, in my conclusion, my life is like fantasy football because of 3 main points. I decide who I want in my life, and make decisions about what to do, and see the results and learn from those mistakes in my life. And I'll leave you with a quote from an unknown author about, fantasy is not a way to escape reality; it's a way to stay in it.